Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for American Horror Story. This show is putting me through it. I'm telling you this right now. So this is season 7, episode 5, Holes. This is Cult. It starts off with our favorite news anchor, Beverly Hope. So Beverly, she's reporting on the scene again, and then she goes and talks to her boss Bob. And Bob is over it. Bob's like, first of all, why do you keep trying to incite fear? How do you have this information? Why are you trying to call this, a serial killer when the cops haven't even classified that as such as of yet? And he just wants her to chill out. And she said, no, I'm not going to do that. And he said, you know what? I'm tired of you. You're tired of me. I'm tired of you. Why don't you go and release, Selena's tape of her getting killed? It's like, look, we can't do that because X, Y, and Z. No, we can't do that because you were sleeping with her and because her parents are suing. That's what's really going on. It's like, yeah, they're that too. Well, maybe if you didn't put your prick in their daughter, this wouldn't have happened. So then, it was like, you know what? You're fired. Beverly's a boss. Beverly said, I'm not going anywhere. You're the one who went and did that. I'm going to go and continue to have my job because I'll go and run and say, this is who he slept with. He slept with a dead girl. This is what he did. Anyway, so now we get to this meeting of the minds and we get an update. What's the update? I think the issue is that Kai, his numbers are up, but they're not up high enough. And he's also smelling out blood. He realizes in his group, there's something fishy going on here. So he needs to go and figure out who's the weakest link, and they're going to go and devise a plan. There's this guy who I'm not really sure who he is, but he's there. He's kind of young, and not kind of young. He is young, or at least he looks young. He's second-guessing everything that Kai's doing. And as you know, when you're in a cult, you don't second-guess the cult's leader. That's the number one way to get yourself killed. And we also see that it looks like Ivy, because Ivy's a part of this as well, which I already knew, that she's not verbalizing it. She's just looking like, And they realize the issue is the killings have been discreet. Beverly's letting them know that they can't hope to incite real fear. This is the age of visuals. You cannot go and say, oh my gosh, this happened at this place at this time. No, you need to show people for them to really feel it nowadays. The people are desensitized like that. So they're going to devise a plan to make sure that people are terrified their Kai's numbers go up. We see Allie, there's this red blotch on her neck. And so she's like, what is that? And it looks like there's possibly a hole there, which is weird within itself. And so then she starts freaking out because the next thing she knows, she keeps rubbing it, and then she starts scratching it, and then the hole starts to get bigger, and then, those nasty, like, office creepy crawly bugs that, they were coming in and out of the holes in her neck, and I was over it. I said, why did I not fast forward through this? So then she has to go to her therapist, and the therapist says, of course this happened. There's a void, there's a hole in your life where your wife and child should be, so it's just making your phobia even worse. That's a good synopsis. So right now, she's going to have to figure out how to get her relationship on track. He wants to start at the beginning. When did you realize that there was some type of issue within your relationship? So now it's September 2016, obviously before the election. Ivy's super stressed because she's trying to figure out the financials for the restaurant. And here comes Allie going and trying to kiss up on her, rub up on her, gives her a gift, even though they can't afford it. It was a vibrator. And so Ivy was pissed because she's like, I need help. I don't need, I'm not sexually frustrated. I'm financially frustrated. The agreements as far as Allie and Ivy are concerned when it comes to Oz is it's visitation rights, but it's supervised visitation rights, which is just messed up. So they're supervised visitation rights. They're in their restaurant, and Allie doesn't know how to even interact with her child because she's being watched. So she's afraid of, oh my gosh, if I do this or if I do that, maybe they're going to write me up. Because you never know, you get paranoid. It's your child. She starts talking about when he was younger, and he's like, Mom, what are you talking about? This is weird. And on the car ride home, I see that It's Ivy and Winter, of course. And here I am thinking, so are they just friends or is there something else going on? Because you can't tell me that at some point something's not going to pop off with them. Maybe not. Maybe one of them will die before that happens. Who knows? They're coming up with this plan because the plan is to sneak into Bob's house. They're going to go and kill, Beverly's boss. So they sneak in. He comes from upstairs in a shirt and underwear with gloves on, but they were plastic gloves, and he was licking them. I'm thinking, was he eating ribs? But I said, this doesn't make any sense. What type of classy but trashy thing is this? And next thing we know, they get in there and they surround him, and they're supposed to do this chant. It's a Latin chant, satanic Latin chant. So obviously, I'm not saying that. But why Latin? Because that makes it scary. That puts fear in people. The whole racist prejudice Kai. Well, I don't even know what Kai is once we find out the ending of this episode, as long as he was telling the truth, which he probably was. They went and they started to attack him and stab him, but he was like, wait, but what about my gimp? I said, what's a gimp? I thought he said chimp. I'm thinking, guys, he eating an animal upstairs? So I immediately thought blood. And I said, oh, I knew I thought it was blood. But no, they go upstairs and they take off their masks because they're shocked. There's this relatively big guy. He has a mask covering himself so he can't hear or see anything. He is being suspended up in the air with, essentially with hooks in him. And when I was looking at it, yeah, because there were hooks all throughout his body. I said, how did his muscles not just tear instantly? I don't know, but it was discussed. I don't know what type of, Satan masochist mess is that. I don't know, but that's some other level mess. I don't even know what he's just slowly eating. I don't know. They were thinking about what they were going to do with him, maybe release him. Kai said, forget that. So he goes, stabby. That freaks Ivy out, and so Winter has to go follow her, and she's like, it's okay. It's always hard the first time. And they're just like, man, Kai. And you could tell that some of them didn't feel that it was the right thing to do. So next thing they know, they're like, all right. So they bring Bob because it's like, it's your turn now. And so, like I said, they start to attack him, but Beverly made sure to take off her mask because they're recording this because they want to incite fear. So they're going to release part of the video and put names to the crimes. And Beverly was just like, haha, Bob, what you gonna do now, Bob? Again, I'm paraphrasing. I don't care what she said. All I care about is what she did. She went, doop, doop, doop. It was just one. That axe went, oh my gosh, and he died. So now, of course, Beverly's the first one onto the scene reporting the death of her boss, which she was happy, but she had to go, I know Beverly's bad. I understand that Beverly's bad, but I love her. She's my favorite. I know that's messed up, and that says a lot about me, but I don't care. She's my favorite. So now we have Beverly and, what was it? Beverly and Kai, I believe. They're having a conversation. Again, it's this whole thing of you need to sniff out the weakness. Because right now there are people that are second-guessing them in their group, and they're going to have to be dealt with. So that was the crux of that conversation, because the next thing we know, we rewind, and this is when we see that at this point, they're setting up the coffins in that house when they killed that married couple. And again, the younger guy was saying, are we sure we should do this, especially once they put them in there? And I was like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. You need to get over it. Now, we see that while all this is not while all this is happening, so that was a part of the plan. Again, you don't question the cult leader, and that's what this guy and even possibly Ivy was doing, whether it was verbally or just showing it with her face. Next thing we know, we see that it's Allie, and Allie, she's in Kai's room. Not Kai's room. She's in Oz's room. She misses her baby. She looks outside and she sees Harrison. It's like, what is he doing? And it looks like it's body bags. And I'm sure it was, but he has these body bags. He's moving them around. She's starting to freak out. So then she takes the telescope. She's snooping. So of course that's inviting trouble. And then the police officer guy, I believe it was the police officer guy, was there, and with Harrison, I think they started to make out. And so that was her opportunity to go and spy and see what's really going on with the neighbors, because we know she doesn't trust them. So she brings a baseball bat over there. She runs there, and she sees that there's this hole. And guess who's in the hole? Harrison's wife. Why can't I know it starts with an M? What her name is? What was that? Mosley. But anyway, she's in the hole. She's still alive at this time. And it looks like they're trying to get rid of her because, I mean, she's annoying, but she's also one of the people that were questioning Kai. And so you can't have weakness in the group. She's in there. She needs help. She needs to get out. Again, it's all very weird how it's being done. Anywho, so then, because it's a hole, we know Miss Phobia herself, Allie, she freaks out and she almost passes out, but then she goes and runs away. And then she calls the cops, and the cops were really busy. I'm thinking, okay, the cops are in on this too. Okay, got it. So then she calls Ivy, and Ivy's like, what's wrong with you? What's going on? It's like, it was the neighbors, this is that. It's like, okay. And it's like, what's outside? Oh my God, I don't know. Oh my God. She's here, the clouds. No, I'm just kidding. But Ivy's saying, why'd you call the cops? Why don't you call the cops? Like, I can't. Oh my God, she's right outside. And then that's when we see Harrison's wife. She goes and starts yipping yapping about, oh my God, you have to save me, you have to let me in. They're crazy, they're trying to kill me. And she finally lets me know that it's a cult. All of them are in a cult. I said, bingo. Yahtzee! There we go. So they're all in a cult. Every single last one of them is like, you can't call the cops because the cops are in on it too. Just know that her husband's in the cult, Kai's in the cult, the news, all of them are in the cult. Ivy's in the cult as well. So when she said that, Allie looked at her like, excuse me? Because she's on the phone with Ivy. So clearly Ivy didn't hear all that, which was very interesting. Because now we're at this pseudo meeting, and Ivy again is kind of a part of all of this, so she's just like, oh my God, she's just bugging out again. She's just happy that she doesn't have to worry about Oz right now, because he's staying with a friend and he likes the hotel because he likes vending machines, so he's good for now. But we know that Kai invited them there because he smells weakness, he smells dissension. He needs them to all get it together in order for him to win and succeed. He needs to make sure that they're all on the same page. So the guy who kept questioning everything, he was the one who got in trouble. He's tied up, and they say, you have to prove your loyalty to me. You need to stab him in the head with this nail gun, and if you don't do it, then you're essentially next. Ivy, you can tell she doesn't want to do it, but she does it anyway. She's the first one to do it because she wants to live. She chose this life. Harrison kind of gave this look. Give me that. Boom. And then they kept doing it. The record is 13 before you die. The guy he didn't have 13 in him, but he was still alive. At one point, he wasn't moving that much. And I saw him still moving ever so faintly, so I knew he was alive. I'm thinking, okay, aside from brain damage, there's no coming back. They're not going to let him live. He knows too much. He's seen their faces. He'd ruined the plan. So Kai talked about, the medulla oblongata. He said, the quickest way to kill someone is through the medulla oblongata. And so he shoots him in the back of the neck, through there, and he dies. And so it's like, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being loyal. Thank you. You guys are the best. The best, I tell you, the best. And, it was Meadow, Harrison's wife. Meadow. I don't know what it is about that name that I keep forgetting it. So yeah, Meadow, I don't know if she's dead now, but I know that somehow she escaped. Again, it just seemed really orchestrated, didn't make much sense. But this all goes back and lets you know that Gary, who worked at the what is it called? Gary, who worked at the supermarket, that at that point he lost his hand. So he was officially a part of the cult. And Donald Trump was already already elected. So Gary was officially a part of the cult. The clowns were real. The clowns were real. And like I said, I didn't think she was hallucinating. Not only were the clowns real, I'm guessing because I guess it could have been Harrison and Meadow that were doing the humping. Maybe. I don't know. I'm still not sure who's doing the humping, but the clowns are real. All of this was a ruse. They're trying to go and make, try and take Oz away from Allie, so play her phobias. And this is all for the fact that she voted for Jill Stein. I mean, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, so I guess I can't be too mad. Now, anyway, Beverly, being the boss that she is, she wants to go, and they do the whole pinky thing, and she asks Kai, look, game time is over. You always try to show a different version of yourself to other people. I want to know the real you. So this is when Kai admits that his parents are dead. His parents died because his mom shot his mom shot his dad because his dad was a lawyer, high-powered lawyer, but then he became crippled, and he became a douche. And he was also an abusive douche. So the mom killed the dad, and then she killed herself because she wanted to release the kids. Some messed up stuff like that. Kai wanted to call the cops, but his brother, Dr. Rudy, the therapist, I didn't see the brother thought. I knew that he was orchestrating it, and I said it before that I felt like he was orchestrating it, but I didn't think that he was related. I don't think I thought that. I thought he might have been like a friend or something. But she said, we're going to hide this because I have a practice. You know, mom and dad, he gets disability. Mom, she gets her from her unemployment or pension. We can't let that die down. We'll lose the house. We'll lose everything. So they locked them in the room, and it was the room that we saw when the show first started, and when Kai was doing all that weird stuff when Trump won, and it was one of those rooms that we saw. And yeah, the parents were in there. Winter didn't know about it until she came from college. She was pissed, but that was it. And I'm thinking, wow, so maybe Kai acting this way, again, is Dr. Rudy as well, kind of saying, here's what you need to do, X, Y, and Z. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. That was a nice twist. I appreciate it.